welcome to Adelaide Eternal, October 2019 Highlander Challenge.
Yeah, and here we are sitting on the back deck of my house. So you might hear the odd truck or bird or something, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Bit of street magic. I'm Beckett Wolfe, and I'm in the booth with Mr. Drew Carter.
Yeah, very excited to be back with you, Beckett, and commentate some sweet Highlander. We had some good
Been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah. I remember last time I was commentating you and Luke in the mirror, and me on Bourbon and Coke or something like that. That was good. All right, so who have we got here today?
We got Nick Savidis on the left. He's on like a Grixis ramp artifacts list, and James Arthur on the right, who's on Blue Moon Splashing Green. Should we check out Nick's list first?
Yeah, sure. Well, Nick's been doing really well since he moved over to Artifacts probably a few months ago. I've faced him a few times. Grixis Artifacts is really strong at the moment, I think. I talk about it a bit in the Ramp podcast, 7-point podcast, but you got sweet recursion with like Goblin Engineers and Welders. Got the new Urza and Emery, rocking that from Throne of Eldraine.
Emery's really good. I lost to Emery on the day as well.
Right. Yeah, you can combo it with Mishra's Bauble, but he's not rocking that combo. But just to get back your Time Vault. So his points are Time Vault, Mana Crypt, and Mana Vault. So that Time Vault's playing a crucial role in his list, and he's got Search for it in terms of Tribute Mage and Goblin Engineer and things like that. But he's also just running big kind of ramp threats like Sundering Titan, Walking Ballista, Wormcoil Engine. Fast mana. He's rocking 6 basic lands for the Arkham's Astrolabe, and probably that's good against Back to Basics and
Blood Moons.
Which could be relevant in this matchup.
I'd be siding in that sort of Blood Moon effects versus him, I think.
Yeah,
instinctively,
absolutely.
And then obviously, I wouldn't say get blown out, but certainly he's respecting the moon.
Yeah,
and good in this matchup too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and he's very soft to Null Rod effects. But that's not a problem in game one. He's got Antiquities War to get around that. That's such a sweet win con. Khan the Great Creator with the Mycosynth lockout. He's got the blue-red colours to give him filter in the early game, like Ponders, Preordains, Faithless Looting, as well as search effects in Wear of Invention and Transmute Artifacts to combo out. So he's really looking to combo out. But if he can't combo out, he'll just win like a big ramp deck does with huge threats. So what about James's list?
James is, it reminds me of Grand King's Blue Moon list, except he's just added a touch of green for obviously some just cool mid-range green cards like Huntmaster Fell, Tireless Tracker, and then a few cyborg cards like Thrag Tusk. But it is a Blue Moon deck. He's got like Crackling Drake in the main board. His points are all blue cards: Mana Drain, Dig Through Time, True Name Jace, Snappy. And he's trying to play this control-y role, but certainly, mainboard Tarmogoyf. I really like mainboard Tarmogoyf. He can still be proactive and he can still close the game pretty quick.
Yeah, I know there's a bit of contention around splashing a third colour in like Blue Moon decks. I've seen Sarven and others splash white to kind of fill in these gaps. Often these Blue Moon decks have trouble with like 4 toughness creatures or True Name Nemesis or things like that. So the splash like Swords to Plowshares or Teferis can deal with those troublesome things. And I think the green fills a similar role, but it can also give you better threats as well. Yeah,
it can. And I mean, you can change your role as well. You can, so maybe he's saying, well, look, I can side out my moon effects and post board put in Hex Drinker, Thrag Tusk, and now I'm just a rug mid-range list.
Yeah. Do you think he's borrowing any Rug Life tech or approach, or not really?
Well, maybe he's just respecting Rug Life's been doing well, especially in our meta, and he's just saying, hey, Rug's some good colours to be in right now.
Certainly get awesome sideboard cards, those colours, but we'll look at that after game one. All right, well, let's head down to the match. I was talking to James a bit about his approach to deck building, and he said the night before a tournament, he tends to pick out some sweet cards that he really wants to play, put them along a curve, and then just fill in what else he needs. So he's kind of winging it.
I did that with Huntmaster the Fells. I just wanted to play Huntmaster. It's just such a fun card, and I think it's really, good in Highlander. Also, Hydro Crassus is another one that's a new card. So Vendilion Click, a couple of lands,
Mana Leak, very tempo-y kind of hand from James on the right there. And then we've got lands, Goblin Welder, a Ponder,
and an Astrolabe, I think.
Yeah, but I think I only saw 1 mana source there, 1 land.
I thought I saw 2,
okay.
and he's got the fetch land for He can get basic and get Astrolabe and at least cycle here at the very least.
Yeah. People are loving Astrolabe. I don't think it's that insane, but people love it.
I agree. It's going off in modern right now. You can like Felidar, flicker it, and get some sweet one card draw value. But yeah, like it's cool. There's what's that new Ice Fang Codal as well? It's good with the Codals.
Okay, so Ponder looking for probably more mana source at this point. Fast mana would be ideal. All right, so who do you think's favoured in this kind of matchup?
Well, we were talking about how Nick's got the basics, and James is on a moon list. So I wonder if James is gonna like fetch basics and try to like get him with the moon, and then realize that Nick actually can play around the moon. Because even if he does get mooned out, he can still go like turn 4 Time Vault Vortex Key. You don't need any coloured mana for that. So I think that certainly game 1 Nick's favoured. And then maybe game 2, once James gets a bit more of an idea of what's going on, post board he'll have some sideboard anti-artifact and anti-combo stuff to bring in, and he'll know how to play. I don't think James knows what Nick's on. No,
it just looks like kind of well, I've faced it before, so I know it's Grixis artifacts, but he has changed it a fair bit with all the basics. So he's trying a Grim Monolith here, which is really sweet mana. But James is responding with a double fetch, possibly for that mana leak I saw in his hand.
Yeah, Monolith's really, really strong in Highlander. It's just that there's not heaps of decks that are tuned to use it, but I think it's like a very, very powerful card.
Yeah. And you can get multiple uses out of it if you're going into the mid-late
That's right.
game.
Like comparing it to Mana Crypt and Mana Vault, which are pointed cards.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as them, but it's close.
Very close.
And as I said, they're pointed cards. That card, the new Goblin Engineer, is also really good with the Emery. Yeah. You put the card in the bin and then Emery it back as well.
That spell snare was really clutch from James, because Nick might have even been trying to fetch. Well, he's stuck on mana.
Is he playing Thopter Sword combo?
Yeah, he is,
so you can get Thopter Sword with the Engineer there. Or he probably would have got something fat if he's got the World to back up.
Yeah, but he's got no artifact to weld out.
See, this is where I think, I don't know, like, is this where the 3 colour gets punished? Like, you want to play Blood Moon here. Click, okay. You want to play Blood Moon here, but you don't have your green yet, and you've only got 1 basic island.
Ooh, so that's
a fat hand. Yeah. So he's got Spine of Ishtar, which is 7 mana destroy a permanent, I think.
Yeah.
And then the new Khan, I like that. Astrolabe, Paradox Engine, and Wormcoil. Yeah, but a bit light on mana.
So I think he thought about playing. Is that Time Vault? Yeah,
it's Time Vault.
So he thought about playing that before, but seeing red across the table, you're always scared of like Duck Fade and coming down and ruining your day.
That's right, and blue.
So James rightly just leaves that hand because he doesn't want Nick drawing into any more mana.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you can be tempted to sink the Time Vault. Time Vault's obviously a 4-pointed card, and it's busted, but like...
Cool. Some other perfect interaction.
Yeah, and I think that James... I totally agree. I think, James doesn't have the key, so even if he resolves Time Vault's still a little ways to get there, and if he's drawing stuff like Mana Drain, then he can just control the board out.
That's pretty scary from Nick. He's got to recover. He's got to get enough lands to cast a spell and then cast the second one to get through the drain, and hope that the drain mana doesn't wreck him on the crackback.
Yeah, and he's already got the pressure out in the form of click. It's
he ripped the land then, so he can hit the Astrolabe now. He's got the snow covered.
That's true. He can go Astrolabe and resolve Time Vault.
Why didn't he go Astrolabe there? I don't know.
Yeah, I would have Astrolabed. I even go Time Vault first to play around days.
Oh, maybe.
And then Astrolabe. Because it's not like Astrolabe's going to draw you into anything. It's not like...
It could draw you into like a Mox Opal or something, or like a Mox Diamond or some mana crypt.
I think if James had Force of Will there for Time Vault, though, it's game over anyway.
Maybe he was trying to like bait the mana drain. Oh no, he was tapped out, so he was going to resolve it. Okay. So James is really playing like a tempo game here with just like cheap interaction, counter spells, cheap threats. Not much of a lock or control deck. It's just kind of tempo.
Is it Plateau? What's the white for?
Yeah, probably for the Thopter combo
Okay, yeah.
instead of black. He's going. So maybe he's not Grixis.
Expecting it to get drained. And yeah, I think I'd be pretty happy to drain this.
Absolutely.
Okay, Snap Leak.
You want some more pressure on board to finish the game off before.
I agree with that. There's probably no big spells you want the drain mana for, and five a turn will close the game in 3 turns.
So Nick's hitting a runner of land, which is good. So yeah, James identifies his role. He needs to finish the game before Nick can recover in terms of his mana, or before he can combo out Time Vault just randomly through drain, albeit.
Yeah, it'll be pretty hard. Nick's not playing control deck, is he? So he's not. It's not like he can expect to get.
He even scoops it up right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. He could have had one more draw spell, but he knew the drain was there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it can't be key and a counter for drain.
Alright, so
quick one.
Very quick game one. Well done, James.
And I think that James would be keeping in his Blood Moon effects game 2.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he saw one basic there, but that's not enough to board that stuff out.
I never know against these artifact decks. I never know whether or not to bring in like Pyro Hydro, because they are playing like blue red, but then a lot of the things that really matter. I mean, look at Nick's hand in the last game. It was like Wormcoil Engine, Paradoxical Engine, Paradox Engine, and Time Vault. Khan. There was no spells you could Pyroblast or Hydroblast.
There was a preordained, but that's not great. I think the blue spells aren't as high impact as the red ones. I'd bring in Hydroblast because the Welders are very powerful and the Duretti is very powerful.
But I guess your bolts can deal with those as well.
Yeah, fair.
I think looking at James's board, he'll probably bring in Ancient Grudge for sure, Dackfade and Shatterstorm.
He was saying the Shatterstorm. I was like, don't you want like Fiery Confluence for like more versatility against like Dark Bounty? He's like, nah, if I see artifacts, I just want to get rid of all the artifacts.
Wow, so 3's not good enough.
No.
It's got to be 4+ for James.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a lot of... He's got... well, not a lot. I mean, three spells. I'd be happy with that. Definitely he's respecting the artifact deck. And there's 3 very, very strong cards to bring in. And then I think he's got a fair bit of choice with what he takes out, James. Like, he can take out... Tarmogoyf and Tireless Tracker, and then play like less proactive, play more control, and then try to like lean on your sideboard cards more. Or you can take out some of your big end spells and try to be faster. Or
I think you need.
There's a lot of ways you can side out for James.
I think you should keep the tempo roll. That's what Ramp's a bit soft to. If he goes to control roll into the late game, he risks just losing to top decks from Nick. Unless he like.
I agree. I don't think Hydro Crisis is very good in this matchup, for example, because there's no like the life gain isn't super relevant. Even the draw card isn't super relevant, and like it's not a big enough threat, and you don't want to tap out. So I agree. I think you want to be like playing like a Vendilion click True Name sort of role.
Well, he took out a Blood Moon there. He's bringing in those 2 cards you mentioned. So on Nick's side, he's got Psymaster Thopterus, which is good tech against Null Rod and stuff.
I'm surprised it's not mainboard, actually.
Yeah, you can play like a mid-rangey plan there. He's got Dispel and Blue Elemental Blast to interact on the stack. Cheeky Winter Orb could turn it back onto James, like the mana disruption, because he's still got the mana rocks to work with.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's too relevant here, but it takes out blue planeswalkers and creatures, isn't it? Chaos Warp could get him out of a Blood Moon and things like that.
Yeah, I'll play that. Does he? I guess he would think that James. He didn't see green at all, did he? So he probably thinks.
But he didn't see any lock pieces either. He might just think it's tempo. I suppose Chaos Warp's a safe card to bring in if you suspect there's a chance you could get mooned.
Yeah, maybe you just bring it in post board every single time because you expect them to bring in Null Rods.
Yeah, it's great against Null Rods.
So you just always have it.
Yeah, so I expect about 4 cards there. Did we see what Nick's sideboard is?
No, well, I was looking at the list. Ensnaring Bridge is another potential.
Yeah, that's probably more of a... I think people love that as a Khan wish target. I'm not convinced by it, but people like it. And to keep your Khan safe, and then like us and block them out next time. So they're looking at their hands thinking, is this a keep? Nick's on the play, I presume. He's kept. Both players have kept. Land go. So that's not a strong start, but that's not uncommon for a ramp deck. Turn 2 is a lot more important.
Yeah, I mean, often I keep thinking it's very similar to Michael's list, and it is Michael Hearn who plays Grixis artifacts, but there's a massive difference in their turn 1s because Michael's playing all this mana. His points are invested in his mana
rather than 4 in Time Vault.
Yeah.
So that's 2 lands go. He could have Dispel or Hydroblast or something, but it's not as proactive as he would probably like to be.
Yeah, I didn't see Nick's hand, but you know, like it could just be Time Vault Key. And it's not like you can ship that.
He's got Blue Elemental. He's got the Hydroblast and the Karn, Great Creator.
And this is where I think Goif's really good, especially post board. Like, no Pyroblast or Hydroblast can deal with this.
And Nick didn't see any green game one.
No, Bolts can't deal with it. It's so proactive. There's going to be an artifact in the bin, you know, sooner rather than later. Yeah, Goif's really good.
This is like the Goif that comes out of the Storm sideboard, like just unexpectedly. Like, although, yeah, I mean, Nick hasn't cited out his creature removal, so it's not as good. So what's Nick doing here? He's got some interaction. Desperate Brainstorm or something? I would hope not, but...
What is he just playing some light interaction? I mean, there's no control.
I think he just wanted to thin the deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe he doesn't realize it now. Maybe now that he sees green, he goes, "Oh, it's not a Blood Moon deck. I'm safe to fetch dual colors."
He might get got.
Is that Psy?
Yeah, that's Psy. Yeah. So he's kind of baited him into getting the non-basics.
The Moon deck's got Prismatic Vista recently, which I think is a really good one as well.
I was playing it this tournament as well. I think it's
just good. Yeah, I think it's just worth playing, but especially in the Moon decks.
You see it.
I gotta add one. Are they expensive? I gotta buy one.
They were, yeah. I think I paid like $35 or something. I don't know. Yeah, so
it's still the writing. Like it's still you're not thinking it's Moon.
I'd panic buttons here when he's going.
because he has to get a basic because it's Prismatic Vista, right? Okay, now it's probably panic buttons.
Back to basics.
Does he have a Hydro, Pyroblast or something?
He had Hydroblast. That's not going to do it.
No. This is good.
So let's see if the 6... Oh, that's good. Okay. That's a start.
No, it's taps for 0.
And he's added another artifact to help turn it on.
It's true. So okay, yeah. So he only needs one more.
He needs some of his 6 base snow-covered islands. Oh, and there's one, yeah. So... But he still hasn't got Mox Opal online yet, so he's on 1 mana.
No, yeah, he's on red mana, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's on, yeah.
How big's Goif? Land, sorcery, it's just a 2/3. And Psymaster Thopterus is 1/4, right?
Yeah.
It's doing a decent job as a wall.
But, yeah, so a lot of these games in Highlander do come down to mana, don't they? Like, who's attacking mana or who's exploiting mana the most. Oh, that shrinks the Goif, but it gets rid of the blocker. There's the interaction.
I think it was worth having a crack. Yeah, it shrinks the Goif, but you know, I think I try not to overthink Goif too much. You know.
Yeah, it'll.
He just is what he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But he had to fetch a non-basic to do that.
He couldn't. Oh, he could fetch, of course. Yeah, I'm thinking Blood Moon. Yeah. Does he not have?
Why did Plateau cast Blue Elemental Blast there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, surely he's got steam vents, right? He can just fetch and search steam vents.
He may not have steam vents because you need a lot of other funky
Does he have?
lands.
But I thought you said he had basic, so he could just fetch basic island, right?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And then just basic island do it. Maybe he's getting confused.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're on camera and it's easy to get confused. I'd definitely make misplays.
Is that Goif going sideways? Instant sorcery land? What am I missing here?
So there's Click again, coming down for some tempo beats.
So he did start in Fry.
Which is good against the Click.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no just Islander and then... What's that card furthest away from us?
That's Tribute Mage.
Okay,
that gets you a 2 mana artifact.
And I like that pick. Taking Grim Monolith. Obviously, you know.
Yeah, he's on mana attack tempo plan at the moment. That's end of turn Click, untapped. Can you get through with the Goif yet?
Well, he's going sideways. By my count, it's instant land.
Instant land. There's just 3 damage.
So is it going sideways, but
just getting blocked?
Blocking, yeah. I totally agree with that.
You can bait him into
absolutely.
Like, I've got a lightning bolt or something.
Yeah, or worst case scenario, they get in the habit of blocking, and then when you do get the lightning bolt, you can kill the Psy. It's it's not like you're getting swung back at, so it just makes sense to swing.
lightning bolt there. So he did have it.
Yeah, but chose to bolt the fly. I guess
Mana
that's
attack. He's taking him off the Mox Opal.
Well, also Cleek can get in now.
Yeah, true. No, that's important.
But I think that is a testament to the fact that he's trying to go for this tempo, because like long term the size better. Yeah.
You don't want to see that when you're on artifacts. Your last chance of seeing any mana. Ugh.
Yeah, it's probably all done, isn't it?
It's just a perfect array of kind of threats and mana attack. And even just the kind of strategically, like, didn't see any green first game, then he brings out the green. Oh, then he thinks the way's clear for like non-basics. Then he just gets him like.
Did.
So kind of mind games.
Knowledge of the deck though. Maybe James can't play this deck forever because eventually people will clock onto it. Well played by James. I think just well played in terms of deck choice.
Yeah, and just getting some surprise value. The gotcha factor.
The gotcha factor.
You often say. Yeah, well done, James. So that's very quick but sweet round one there.
And it was nice to see. We didn't get to see what Nick's deck is capable of, because I'm sure it's capable of some pretty crazy stuff with that ramp. But we did get to see what James's deck does, and it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, bad luck to Nick, because he has a responsible mana base. He's got 21 lands, plus mana rocks, plus...
I like that responsible mana base.
Yeah, and includes basics as well. Like, he just didn't do it for him today. But better luck next time, Nick, and yeah, well done, James.
And guys, I guess we'll see you in round 2.
Yep, see ya.